right, welcome to video number 3, which is the second step of our entire business building, and we are talking about how do you build a fan funnel. Now, in the last video, we talked about what a fan funnel is and how amazing it is and how it will outperform Spotify every single time, even if you just have one person click on it and buy something, even for $1, you 400x your income compared to Spotify. That is absolutely nuts. So now that we know what a fan funnel is and how it can just do insane stuff, now I'm gonna show you how to build a fan funnel, because you're probably thinking like, oh, this might be super complicated. I'm not techie. I don't know how to, do this digital things and whatnot. Like, I will show you how easy it is. Plus, I've done like 90% of the work. All you have to do is just copy paste and you're done. Okay. And I'm going to show you what that is and how to do that. I'm going to go into the software and I'm going to show you how easy it is to set up. Like, it's crazy. Just how easy it is and what it can do is just crazy. So how do I build a fan funnel? But just really quick, I gotta explain something. As you've seen in the first video, I showed you my graduation picture, and this is with my grandparents. And I used to be really, really close with them. They lived like 10 steps away from our house. So we were neighbors and we would go on vacations all the time. And, I'm the oldest of 3 kids. And so we were at their house all the time, and they would take us to, see whatever, to the zoo when we were kids. They would take us on vacation. They would, we would do all sorts of stuff with them. But unfortunately, a few years ago, they both died, all within like 6 months of each other. So it was quite quick and a little bit unexpected for us. And it was just really, really hard for me and my family, of course. And, but why am I telling you this? I'm not trying to tell you a sob story. The reason why this is important is because they had a family business, and it's been family owned since 1938. And when they died, nobody was willing to take over the company because it was like a health center hotel, but it was privately owned. And we had, health insurance would send us a lot of their clients is maybe the wrong word, but it would send us their patients. And we would, we had doctors, we had physiotherapists, and we would have them for about 2 to 3 weeks. And they would have physiotherapy every day and stuff like that, and we would help them, right? So this is what we were doing. But I was in a music space. I'm like, what am I doing with health? But I also didn't want 40 employees just to go without a job, because not only would it suck that they don't have a job, but they all had families as well. And so when somebody loses their job, it's a big deal. And to have 40 people just go without a job within, just like that, I just couldn't bear the thought of that. And so my husband and I decided to take over the company, and my son was 10 months at the time. Here he is. And he was 10 months. And so I was a fresh mom, and my husband and I were fresh parents. But we still decided that this is what we want to do. So this is me in the office, calling people, managing everything. And it was quite the learning curve. And so I took over the family business when I was 27. And it was, I got to learn a lot, because I thought, okay, I'm learning about all this business, marketing and sales, and how to grow a business and all that. I'm like, okay, let's try it out. And so I took over the business, because all my other siblings My brother is in like rocket science and my sister is in fashion, and my other sister, she's a physiotherapist, and so she also started working here then as well. But I was like the only one that could kind of like run a company with like the skill set that I had and that I was acquiring over time for my own music. I noticed that, you can take a lot of these skills and apply it in any business if you know what you're doing. And so that's what I did. So I got to learn a lot of things, and one of them, this is a whole new story, but we had two people break into our office, and luckily we caught them and they were arrested, but that was one thing. So I had to like deal with the hotel guests and had to make sure they're like calm and gonna stay with us and not leave, and so I had to like manage all of that. So that was like one thing. Then I had we got scammed for over $23,000. That was one of the most expensive mistakes I've ever made. And then a few weeks of just working in this company, and I had to fire our IT after him being, I think he worked, I think 20 years is not even enough. Like, I think it's been like more like 25, 30 years that he's been with us. And he was an independent contractor. He did not work in a company. He was like his own company. And anytime we had issues, he would come. And so I found out that he was basically a fraud. I found out that he was selling us illegal copies of like Word and PowerPoint and stuff like that. And so I had to fire him. So I learned a lot in these couple of years where I got to run the family business. And these are just a few of them. But one of these things that was like absolutely crucial was when I started, everything was still like there was just paper everywhere. There was just paper, like everything was on paper. And if you've ever run a business, or if you know anything about business, the most expensive or the biggest expense that you have in a company are your employees. Like with Abstand. So like the big, like they're by far the biggest expense that you have in your company. So that's why when a company wants to save money, the first thing they do is let go people, because they're the most expensive, basically. So they just had paper for everything. And I'm like, this is like, of course, my grandparents were running the business. So my grandpa could barely use a phone, never, he would never digitalize the company, right? So everything, of course, was on paper. And so I took over the company. I'm like, this is just, I feel like I'm back in the Middle Age or something, because everything took forever because everything was on paper. And I'm like, this is just wasting time. Like if we digitalize this, that we could do this in 5 minutes, but now it's taking me like 45 minutes. And again, employees are the most expensive thing. So if we could have them work on better tasks or get them more proficient with what they're doing, that would save us money in the company or help us get more done. And so I started digitalizing the company. It was a lot of work, and it was just a nightmare to get like the employees on board as well, because I was basically in their eyes changing everything, but ideally I was making their life easier. So by changing or from transferring from paper to technology, there was something that happened that I didn't notice would happen. And that was that the employees all of a sudden didn't know what to do anymore. And I thought, like, this is easy. You just click here, do this, and you're done. Right? For me, it was just common sense. It was logic. But what I realized is that my employees just got confused and didn't actually get the task done. Something simple as checking in new hotel guests, I wouldn't think that would be such a problem, but they would forget to scan like their ID, or forgot to put in information, or to use the right pricing, or like stuff like that. Everything else was already automated. So technically it was making their life easier, but I was like, why is this such an issue? And it was just not just like one employee, but it was like pretty much all of them. And I was just like, this is, I'm not like really understanding how like checking in someone could be so hard. Like, how can you forget all of these things? And then I remembered a book I read, and it's over here. And it's Atomic Habit by James Clear. This is my #1 most recommended book. If there's one book in the world that I could read forever, it will be this one. As you can see, you can always see the books that I've already read, right? And so I remembered a quote in here that drastically changed my life forever, the way I look at life, the way I approach my goals, and my dreams. And it's this quote, and it's on page 27 if you follow along. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Here again, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Okay, what the heck does that mean, right? So if you have a goal, this is me or you, right? And you have a goal, right? There's something you want to reach, right? And so you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. So basically, if I want my employees to check in new guests, if that is the goal and they're not reaching the goal, it's not my employees' fault. It's that I haven't put the right system in place for them to reach the goal, right? So having the goal means nothing. I'm like, hey, you know what? Check in this guest. That's the goal, right? So if they're not reaching it, it's not the employee's fault. It just means I didn't put the right system in place for them to reach that goal. So basically, I need to ask myself, what systems are in place to reach the goal? That's a good and better question to ask. Besides, why is not anyone doing what I'm telling them to do? That would be a bad question. The better question is what systems are in place to reach the goal, right? So you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems, okay? So what did I do? I gave them a simple checklist. That's a system. Like, I'm just like, okay, when this new customer comes, say hello, ask them how their day was, scan their ID, put in their contact information if it's still missing. So I just gave them a checklist of do this, then click that, then scan this document, then give them the room key, whatever it was, right? And I just gave them this checklist. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, everyone was able to check in our hotel guests, and they all did it in the same way, right? You didn't have one person that did it this way and that, like, it was all universal throughout all 40 employees, right? And so, or at least the ones that were in charge for the check-ins, right? So just a simple checklist can be enough to have as a system in place. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just a simple checklist changed everything, right? That was my system that I put in place. Now, there are other ways, systems that you can do. One can be using a timer. One can be using a calendar, as you can see here, or a reminder. So obviously I use my calendar all the time. I have such a bad memory. My husband always makes fun of me. He's like, you're the smartest person in the world, but when it comes to like remembering stuff, you're the worst. And I know that. And because I know that, I put systems in place so I don't forget. And one is I put everything in my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. So if I need to do anything, I do it. I put it in my calendar. Then the second thing is So my husband and I, so my husband goes grocery shopping. He also cooks. He's amazing. I just eat it, but he goes grocery shopping and he loves to cook. And so, in order to know what he needs to buy, he always had to call me and be like, "Hey, what do I need to buy?" And I had to run through the fridge and look and see. And so what we did is we just got this on our iPhones. There's this reminder app. We would just sync it, and then I would just type bread or milk or whatnot, and then it would synchronize with his reminder app. And so when he's in the grocery store, he has like the list of his stuff of groceries that he needed to buy, and there was always up to date. And so it's like, if it's not on the list, we're not gonna buy it, right? And so if I run out of milk and it's the last one, I get my phone out, get the reminders app, and put milk on the grocery list, and boom. Next time my husband goes grocery shopping, he has it. So that's also a simple system, right? Just like a simple here in the reminders app. That's why it's called reminders, that it's in here. Also, when I need to pick up my son, I set a timer or an alarm, right? I never forgot to pick up my son from kindergarten or period. And then the one time I forget to set my alarm, because I'm like, oh, I'll remember. So I didn't set my alarm, and I actually forgot to pick him up. And it was it wasn't a nightmare because somebody else was able to pick him up, so it was fine. But it was still, as a mom, I felt so bad to forget to pick up my own kids. So since then, I've always set my timer. I've never forgot him after that. But that was a reminder that even if I do think like this one time, I'm just not gonna forget, I am gonna forget. So these are just simple systems in place to get the goal that you want. I need to pick up my son. I need to know what I want to buy in the grocery store. I need to, be on time to this appointment. Whatever the goal is, it's the system, right? So the most sophisticated system is a funnel, right? These are very simple and easy systems. Just set a timer, put it in your calendar, have a reminder app, whatnot. But the funnel is a little bit more sophisticated system, right? So if I have a goal to make money with your music, or to grow, or to start your music business, or whatever it is. So if this is your goal, to make money with your music, again, you rise to the level of your goals. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you haven't been reaching your goals with your music, it's not your fault. So you need to ask the question of what systems are in place to reach those goals. Like, what is it? So if Spotify has been your system, obviously you're not reaching this goal. So this is a bad system. Okay, so if you're not reaching this goal, it means you don't have a system in place at all. You have a bad system in place. You have an outdated system in place. Or if it's working, then that's the right system, right? So it's always the system that I just always like to ask, like, okay, if I'm not reaching the goal, what are the systems in place that will get me there, okay? So the most important takeaway is it's not your fault if you haven't been reaching the goal of trying to make money with your music, or start your music business, or lose weight, or whatever it is. Whatever your goal is, it's not your fault. It's just because you haven't put the right system in place yet, or you don't have a system at all. That's like the worst part. But so obviously, if Spotify has been your system and you're clearly not reaching the goals, Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So clearly that system isn't working. You need to put in a different one. And in this case, it's a fan funnel. That's a system. And again, you don't have the right system if you're not hitting that goal. If you're hitting a goal, then obviously, congratulations, it's the right system, right? But now you do have the right system. And I also want to say at this point, a system doesn't have to be digital. Like, let's say you want to run 5K, right? Then the first system would be, and this is important, that they're in small bite-size steps, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. So you would want to, like, a system would be get your running shoes, put on your, have the clothes ready the night before, so you're not like having to look for it, knowing the route that you're going to be running, and so on, right? Just that's also a system. It doesn't have to be digital, right? So a system can be anything from just like a structure, like a habit that you're kind of creating, right? Putting out your shoes, or if you want to read more, putting your book on your desk would be a very simple system to not forget to read, right? Something like that. Just little things, doesn't have to be digital. That's what I want to stress here. Okay, but now you do have the right system to make money with your music. Okay, so this is also another quote that James Clear talks about in his book that also was very life-changing for me, is that success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. That's on page 18 if you want to follow along. So again, success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. That's very important. We always sit and wait for this one big break, and it takes forever. But if we take little ones every single time, we'll get way further than just waiting for a once-in-a-lifetime transformation. And that's always usually harder, right? To have like one big transformation, you bounce back quite fast. That's the yo-yo effect, right? So this is what this looks like. Same goal. Sorry, I need to scratch my eye. So same goal, but different approach. So James Clear talks about the 1% habit in here. He said, if you just get better 1% every day, like that just multiplies so fast. What page is that on? I should have looked this up before, probably. Here. Here. It's on page 16. Here. Get 1% better every day, right? So this is just staying the same. This is if you get 1% worse. This is 1% better. So in the beginning, you're not going to notice a lot of changes, and that's why people disregard it so much. Is in the beginning, you won't really notice, but then there's like this breaking point, and all of a sudden, these people seem like they're coming out of nowhere, like these one-hit wonders, you know, where they say, oh yeah, that overnight success, that's been a 20-year overnight success, right? Because you don't see the 20 years before, and then all of a sudden the breaking point hits and you're like, poof. They're like, they just came out of nowhere. Yeah, so the 1% daily habits versus perfection, just waiting, right? And the smaller we make the steps to our goal, the more doable it is to get there. If I'm making like 5 huge ones, then no wonder nothing's happening, right? But if I make 100 small ones, then I'm like, oh, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. And then all of a sudden, after 100 days, you've reached your goal, and this little guy can't even reach the first one, right? So this is, let's say, we're waiting to get signed, like a big lifetime transformation, right? We're like, oh, I'm gonna get signed and I need these 5 steps to get there. But these steps are so big that it's very unlikely that you'll ever get to this goal. But let's say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take control over my own music career. I'm gonna build a fan funnel. There are only like these few steps that I need to take. And then boom, you're making money, right? So don't wait for the once-in-a-lifetime transformation. It's the little daily steps that you're doing daily. Okay, that is way more important than just waiting around, waiting for that one thing. So let's see how easy it is to build a fan funnel. So the software I like to use is ClickFunnels 2.0. I've been using it for over 6 years now, so I know it quite well. So if you want to get started, you can go to alisekoa.com/CF, short for ClickFunnels, and then you can start your 14-day free trial. But I'm just going to show you how easy this is right now to set up. So like I said, I already did 90% of the work. So if you want to get the fan funnel, the link that I just used, in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can get it for free. Okay. But if you want to start your ClickFunnels account, you can do this right now. Just go to alisekoa.com/CF and it will take you straight to the page. You can sign up and you can get started right away. But if, like I said, I did 90% of the work already. I already built out the fan funnel with the workflows and everything. If you want all of that, then in the next video, I'm going to show you how to get this for free. So you just click on that link and it will take you straight to this page, just as I'm doing right now. And then I have our own workspace for trainings, right? So this is where I want to import this. And now it's going to just take a few seconds, maybe up to a minute, where it's now importing everything into your account. So it's giving you the fan funnel. I'm giving you the email templates. I'm giving you the, they get triggered when somebody buys or doesn't buy. So there's like abandoned cart. I gave you 2 members areas are in there. I'm giving you a theme. So basically what you can do within ClickFunnels, which is really nice, what I haven't seen any other platforms do so far, is you just pick a theme. So you have your branding, basically, you have your colors, your so now you can see how it's like importing everything. So you have your colors, you have your logo, well, yeah, your logo, but like your your font, and all of that. You set it once, and every time you bring in a funnel, your branding is already done. So you don't always have to start from scratch every single time. It'll just import it with your colors, with your fonts, with your brand identity, whatever it is. And it's pretty cool. So I also imported a theme for you in there as well. So that's why it takes a few, well, not too long, but you can see like it's importing like all these workflows. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 workflows in here. It has the fan funnel, of course, which is what I'm going to show you right now. And then 2 courses and the theme, the musician theme, and then 2 products in here. So yeah, it's importing quite a bit of few things, but it's almost done. So it should take, you know, around a minute, I would say, to import all of that. So I'm doing this live with you, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, so we've installed your new workflow. That's perfect. Okay, close. All right, so now this is what ClickFunnels looks like. Again, this is just my account that I like to use for training, so it doesn't have my numbers and stats and stuff in there. Yeah, so this is what it looks like once you sign up. And then you go here into funnels. And now you can see you have a funnel in here, and that's the one that I've built out that we just imported, right? If you don't have this link, then obviously this wouldn't be here. This would be completely empty. So there are a few ways to do this. So one, you can create a funnel completely from scratch, or you can have a smart funnel builder, basically AI, build a funnel for you, which is also nice, but they don't always get it right. Or in my case, here you can see this is imported, and we are going to use that. So again, in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can get this funnel with all its workflows and everything. So you just click here and then it will open up the funnel builder. That's how easy. So here you can see the steps, right? The funnel steps that we were talking about before. So if we go to my slides, here, right? We have the steps here. Get the free thing, then the main offer, then an upsell 1, upsell 2, right? These are the pages, and this is exactly what you see here. It's just vertical, because this is horizontal, so it's vertical. So the way I mapped it out on here in Canva is horizontal, and here in ClickFunnels it's vertical, right? So yeah, so you just go in here, you click edit, and again, I already did everything for you. That's you know, that's crazy. So here is the style guide. So if you set this up beforehand, then again, it will just use your fonts, your color, your shadow, your borders, however you just set this up once, and then it'll change everything for you. So you don't have to go in and change the button every single time and all that stuff. So all you have to do is go in here and say download my hit single and then change the name. So all you have to do is, if you want to change anything within ClickFunnels, it's super easy. You just click in here and see where there's this cursor. So let's say it's not Dreamer, but it's, I don't know, thank you. I don't know, I was very uncreative. Okay, boom, done. Then, unless, let's say you do have it on Spotify, what you can do is when you want to change something, you just click on it in ClickFunnels, right? Then you can make it bold, cursive, you can underline it, you can make it, you know, however you want. And when you go here on settings, this is where you can do more of the customizing, right? You can make the headline bigger, you can make it smaller. I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. You can change the color here, right? And you can have a background, you can put icons before or after here if you wanted to, right? So this is where you can really customize things within ClickFunnels. So again, if you just hover or even click in it, there's this symbol here, and once you click on it, it will open this sidebar. Okay, then where should I send your song? I'll send the song via email, Dreamer. In this case, I would say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you is all about, well, so what is your song about in just like a sentence, you know? It's about acoustic feel good vibes, because obviously whoever's landing on this page, they can't hear the song yet. So you kind of need to describe, what is it? Is it a ska genre? Is it acoustic? Is it an R&B rap song? Like, what is it genre-wise, and then what is it about? Okay, so just change this one sentence, right? You can put here whatever you want. And then we want to get their name and email, and let's say you don't want their phone number, right? So all you have to do is, I'm just hovering over this, right? You can click on the delete icon, boom, now it's gone, right? Like, super easy. And if you say you don't like the button, then, you know, or you want to change what it says, get my free song now, boom, now it says get my free song now, and all that. And then if you want to change the image, of course, then you hover over this picture or you click on it, then it will open this tab, and then where it says image URL, you click on here. And then for me, I already have a bunch of pictures in here. So let's say I just want to, and obviously these pictures are also going to be imported into your ClickFunnels account. So I just click on it, and boom, now the picture is changed. Or let's say you want a video there. Let's say you made a video for your Instagram, for example, or something. Then you can delete the video, and then you'll see this plus sign here, right? And then you click on that, and it will ask you what element do you want to add. Do you want to add a headline, a subheadline, a paragraph, an image, a video, audio, a button, whatever it is, right? So you don't need code or any of this. So in this case, I want a video, right? And so now I just put the video URL in here, and then boom, I'm done. So yeah, just get the link from your YouTube or from your Instagram video. I wouldn't put the entire music video there because then they don't have an incentive to go and download it. But like, just if you already have a teaser of the song, I will put it here. Okay, so boom, then you're done. You can also customize it for your phone. So you just click here, and now you can see what it would look like if somebody was using it on their mobile phone, right? Same thing. Right, and then you click save here. I'm not gonna do that because I don't wanna save what I just did. And then you don't, so if you wanna close this bar, you can do it here so you have more space. But the cool thing is if this is open, you just jump into the next funnel step here, right? So now I'm done with this page. So I just click on to the next. I don't wanna save anything, that's fine. Ask me to like reload 100 times. So now I'm just going into the next funnel step. So once they get the free song, what else are they looking for? What's the next logical thing? Okay, and I'm like, thank you, check your email, your free song has been emailed to you, right? And then, but wait, before you go, I have something amazing to share with you. You're gonna get a 65% off my now by using this code. And then you have like a video of you where you're like, hey, thank you for buying my new, downloading my my hit single. I really appreciate it. You know what? Right now, because you're here, I'm gonna give you this special offer. It's 65% off. If you leave this site, it's gonna be gone forever. You're never gonna see this price ever again. And this is then where they actually now put in their payment information, right? And then this is what I call a value stack. So this is again where I teach you how you can sell your album for $40 or more, or 30 or whatever. That's by stacking value. And then you say, usually this will be $45, but today you're getting it for 16%, yada, yada, yada. So again, you just go in here. If you want to change that in, you do what? You click on it. Exactly. And so that's basically how easy it is. You just, if you want to change something, you just click on it. If you want to add something, you can just hover over it and it will say add element, right? You say add element, and then you can add a headline. Oops. Is this white? Yeah, okay. White. So let's make it, I don't know, let's make it red. I don't know. Then let's say you want to add a survey, or you can add a divider or a calendar, you know, a progress bar. Like you can just, it's so easy just to kind of add. So as long as you can copy and paste and click, you're done. So basically I already built this funnel out for you, so you don't have to do anything besides just swap out the video for yours, swap out the image for yours, and obviously the copy needs to fit to whatever you're selling on this page. But this is all done. All these pages are already done for you. And then at the very end, you have your, I don't want to save this. You have your order confirmation. You're like, so everything they bought within that funnel with you. Here's the order confirmation. So congrats, order complete, check your email for payment receipt. So You don't have to do anything. So their receipt gets sent to them. I've set up the workflow so they get the music as well. So everything is set up. And it has a calendar if they want to put, spend more money with you, let's say a custom song or book you for a gig or something. You also have a calendar option here. Okay, so yeah, very simple, very easy. Again, I did 90% of the work for you here. The fan funnel is already done, so you can just go in there if you have the images, if you have the video, and if you, start copy and paste, and then you're done. You're ready to go within 10-15 minutes, right? So here you can see the workflows that are attached. So the emails actually send out. So you just have the work, all the work is in the beginning, and then it's just automated and it will run until you turn it off, right? I just wanted to show you like how easy this is, especially if in this case you already have everything in here ready to go. So again, if you want this fan funnel with all the emails that are attached here, that you can see here that are attached, in the next video I'm going to show you how you can get that for free, okay? But right now you can go to alisecoa.com and you can where am I? Here, you can go to alisecoa.com and you can /CF, short for ClickFunnels, and you can start your 14-a-day free trial right now. But then you have to build your own funnel, or you can have AI build it for you. But yeah, you can get started with that right here, right now. Okay, that's how easy it is. That's how simple it is. You see how you just drag and drop your stuff in there. And if you want to change anything in ClickFunnels, you do what? You click on it. Exactly. Okay, so again, if you want to learn how to, really step by step how to build, use this fan funnel, I have an entire online course for that. I can put the link down below for that if you want, but it's called the Musician Success Starter Kit, and you can get it down below if you want to use this fan funnel. Okay, so again, if you want my funnel template, I'll show you how you can get it for free in the next video, so you definitely want to watch that. And you've made it through another video. Again, congratulations. Tap yourself on the shoulder, give yourself a rock and roll, because you've made it through another video, and you saw how easy it is to use ClickFunnels. So not only is it a super powerful tool, but it's also very easy. It's made to be easy. And yeah, so again, step one, you already did. You watched the entire video from start to finish. And the second one, and now the same thing, go into the community tab, go into assignments, and then tell me what your biggest takeaway was from this video, and maybe what your biggest concern, what your challenge is. If not, then just say, I don't have any. Okay, so if you do this, if you watch all these videos within 5 days and do the assignments, then you unlock this super cool reward, which is the Music Business Secrets video, where I will show you how you can make $4,000 a month with only 500 fans by just stacking funnels. And I'll show you what funnel that is and how to use it, and you'll even get it for free. So if you want to unlock that, you want to make sure that you're watching these videos, doing the assignments, so you can then have access to this video. If you don't do this within 5 days, there are no exceptions to this rule. You will not be able to ever get access to this video, and you will be removed from this group and community. So do your assignment right now. It should not take you longer than 2 minutes. So go into the group, comment that, put that down below, you're already more than halfway there because you watched the video. So in the next video, I'm going to show you the next step. We have our funnel, right? We've got our fan funnel ready to go, but how do I actually fill my funnel? How do I get the people into that funnel? Like we saw one way, which is through your YouTube channel if you have like a music video, but what are like all these other ways that you can get people into your fan funnel? Because we've got our fan funnel rocking and rolling, but now how do I get people in there? And this is how I'll show you. This is my favorite part, so definitely watch the next video. How to ethically steal other people's super fans or fan bases. Okay, if you want to know how to do that ethically, this is probably the most important video out of all of them. You will want to go to video number 4. We're almost there. That's crazy. Okay, so again, watch the video, do the assignments down below, go to the community and do the assignment, and then I'll see you in the next video. Mahalo!